Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of Speak That Talks. Today marks the 21st episode of Speak That Talks. So go ahead, tag some friends, let them know that we are about to have another empowering, enlightening, and inspiring conversation. So we're going to go live in 30 seconds. All right, that 30 seconds goes by fast. So again, welcome to the 21st consecutive episode of Speak That Talks. So I just have to give a shout out to that. As I was telling someone earlier, I have sat in this seat for 21 weeks, every single Thursday evening since May 7th. I have sat here to have a conversation, a live virtual conversation with different guests, because I really want us to just pause as we're going through all of the things going on in the world around us, from COVID-19 to social injustices to even the positive things. So on May 7th, I thought I would just have one conversation. And that one conversation has led to 21 and hundreds of viewers from all over the country and a few people from outside of the country. So I thank you. And if you do not know me, my name is Tiara M. Tucker. I am the founder and CEO of Tiara PR Network, LLC, as well as Speak That Movement, which was created to empower, uplift, and connect people via inspiring speakers, via events, novelties, and media. So thank you all for tuning in to a byproduct, which is Speak That Talks, the unscripted, unfiltered, and uncensored conversation where we're going to talk about hot topics, some comfortable, some uncomfortable. But I welcome you all to join in on the virtual conversation. So to virtually talk and interact, go to Speak That Movement on Facebook or YouTube. I want us to connect. This is a virtual session. Add your name, add your city, add questions, add comments, anything that you want to share. Come into the conversation. This is not about me. This is not about my guests. This is about all of us having a conversation. So shout out to the folks out there. Hello, Miss Karen. I have so much love for you, Karen. Karen is on here almost every single week. So good evening to you, representing Peoria, Illinois. So if you're out there, let us know. Shout out your city, shout out whatever you want to shout out today, because I really feel that today's conversation is going to be impactful. So again, if you aren't already on the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you go there so that we can virtually connect and virtually interact. If you want to learn any more about Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, or Speak That Talks, feel free to go to the website, which is tiaraprnetwork.com. So without further ado, I am just really excited to welcome today's special guest speaker. But before I do, I have to give some more shout outs. We have Miss Tara Miller. Hello, hello. First time joining from Fort Worth. Well, welcome to you from Fort Worth. Thank you so much for tuning in, and may God bless you. All right. So I'm excited to bring up today's special guest speaker. Always a pleasure having a different guest every single week. And if you guys have not seen some of the previous shows, just go to the videos on the Speak That Movement Facebook or YouTube, and you'll see previous videos with previous guests. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome to the Speak That Talks platform today's special guest speaker. Her name is Miss Shaylon Scott. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a guest. And I know I told you this earlier, but you have such a glow right now.
Thank you. Moisturizer.
I mean, you have like this goddess glow that is giving me so much life right now.
Oh, thank you so much. You are gorgeous as well.
Thank you. And this is a virtual conversation, so pull out the comments. I want to see some pumps. I want to see some love symbols. I want to see some anything that you all want to add so that you can virtually be a part of the conversation. So thank you, my sister, for joining today. So I want to start. I want us to tell everybody, how did we meet?
You know, they say it's a small world, and it truly is a small world. We met by chance. I had joined a boot camp for speakers because I wanted to go into a speaking career and start doing public speaking more. So I joined Dr. Guillory's boot camp, and I said, I'm going to jump in and see how it is. And you were one of the boot camp attendees as well. And we didn't really interact, but we saw each other, we heard each other, and it was such a great boot camp. I'm still glowing from it. That's probably my glow.
Shout out Dr. G.
Yes, definitely shout out Dr. G. So I finished the boot camp, and then I also find out we become Facebook friends, and I find out that you're also Facebook friends with my current boss.
My previous mentor.
Yes.
I know he's still a mentor. I'm gonna say that, but at the time when we worked for the same employer, he was a mentor. Amazing man.
I said, wow, what are the things that come across so quickly? So he reaches out to me, said, how do you know Tiara? I said, I sort of kind of know her. I don't know her. He's like, you guys should connect. You should meet. You should talk. We got to talking, and then the rest is history. Now we're here.
That's right. And that's destiny. That's destiny. And it was so funny because when he reached out, he was like, you two need to meet. I'm like, okay, like I didn't know at the time what we needed to meet for. I didn't know. And I think even when we talked on the phone that day,
we didn't
talk for what, over an hour?
Yes, we did.
About everything.
Everything.
So now here we are, September 24th, 2020, having a conversation together. God is amazing. Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit more about you. So who are you?
Oh, who is Shaylon? I am a mother of two teen girls, by the way. I'm a single mom who is always passionate about giving back and trying to do my part in the world, whether it is, no matter what job I have, I'm always trying to find a way to look at the bigger picture. So whether I'm working for a nonprofit, whether I'm working in government, I've done public speaking, but first and foremost, I'm always a mom. And it's kind of how I got into the entrepreneurship world that I'm in now, is because I am a mom and I want to see a future for my kids. I also want them to have a part in my future as well, too. So that's kind of that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. Nice. Well, kudos to you, because a mom is a full-time job. I'm not a mom, but I'm a proud aunt and a great aunt.
Hey,
so, yes, I have a goddaughter. So kudos to all the moms, especially the single moms. I have so much love and respect. And also kudos to all of the entrepreneurs out there.
Yes.
Their dreams come true.
Keep going, y'all. It's rough. Keep going.
Well, and we'll talk about that, huh?
Yes.
It's not easy. And shout out to everybody out there that's working that 9 to 5 while also holding down that passion or that dream or that side business. So kudos
Balance.
to everybody out there. So let's talk a little bit about your business. So
Yeah.
we're going to make that a hot topic because I think that you have an amazing business. I love what you're doing, and I want the rest of the world to know even more about it. So that makes our first hot topic of the day,
All right.
Book Mecca.
All right. Book Mecca. If you cannot tell, I love Book Mecca. I
Yep.
do.
I see
And
the passion.
I didn't even start out thinking that I would do this. I started out thinking that I would not have my own business and I would go through the motion of an entrepreneurship course to see what it was like. And if the idea sticks in my head, maybe I'll try it out. The idea continued to stay. I woke up every day and it stayed in my mind. So I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. The Book Mecca is an online Black bookstore and literary platform for all things Black authors, Black lit, all day, every day. We are bringing our voices, our stories, all the influences to light and bringing breath and life into all the things that shouldn't just be on the shelf. They should be in our hands on the TV screens. And so I want to make sure that the faces of the writers are just as prominent as the actors on the screen. So I am all things literary, Black authors, Black books. That's me.
I love it. And you know what? I absolutely love when people are talking about their passions because you are already glowing, but there's this internal glow that shines from the inside out when people are talking about what they love. And I feel that that's a sign of walking in your purpose.
Mm,
And for the people out there that are like, oh, I'm still trying to figure out my purpose, no worries, right?
yeah.
I did some interviews a few weeks back where every week we talked about walking in your purpose because we really wanted people to dig deep into first, well, what is purpose? How do you figure out what your purpose is? And then how do you walk in your purpose? So if you haven't seen those videos, check them out. But I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
like, it sounds like this is purpose. What does it mean to you to know that you're walking in your purpose with this Book Mecca effort?
Well, the idea started with my children, honestly. Um, I am an avid reader. I always have been. And my oldest daughter loves to read. My youngest daughter has dyslexia. So it was always a challenge to get her to enjoy reading. We finally got her to enjoy reading by challenging each other, whether it was, you know, racing to the library, making books fun. Every time we went to the library, it was an adventure. We had to check out so many books and see how many could read at a time before we go back and get another book. And so we kind of made that a theme in the house that books would be around. We were always have them. So my oldest, she fell in love with an author who had a series of books, Black author, sort of mixed between, you probably know some of the books, mixed between Harry Potter and Star Wars and Mother Africa. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yes. Children of Blood and Bone series. So she fell in love with that. And we went to our local library and they had one copy with a long waiting list. So I'm
Mm.
thinking, oh, okay, this is just popular. Maybe that's what it is. And then we went to another library not too far over, and I'm in Frisco, Texas. So I was like, okay, we're in Frisco. Maybe I need to go a little further south. So I went a little further, and still there was one or two copies. And this is a New York Times best-selling author. This
Mm.
number one selling book for young adults. I'm thinking, okay, I should just buy the book. Go into Barnes and Noble. No, I'm not hating on Barnes and Noble now. Don't sue me. But
Yeah.
go into these other bookstores, one or two copies,
Mm.
or not there at all. And so I started asking the librarians and the general managers there at the bookstores, what's your processes of buying the books and how do you decide which ones to bring in? And they were saying, it's based on what people are asking for. and what is selling. So I'm like, that can't be true because these are number one best-selling books. So how is it that you don't have these books? And there's a long waiting list for these books.
So
So
there's interest.
exactly, the need is there. And so I got so frustrated I couldn't get a straight answer. I was just buying books, especially during quarantine, buying a lot of books, just hitting that one click a lot. And I decided I'm just going to start my own. One of my cousins said, just do it yourself. Curate your books, bring them all together, and try to sell the books in one place. Why don't you just do that? I said, okay, I'm going to try it and see how it works. So it started out like that, and then it morphed into what it is now. Um, I call it more of, it is a passion for me because it's so much more than books. It is the words behind the books. The books are the stories. The stories are the lives. The lives are the history. It just layers on top of layers. And unless we kind of dig down deep into the stories that are written and they don't get ignored, we could miss out on so much, so many gems, so much glory that is out there. And so I just wanted to make sure that there was one place where no matter if you are a avid reader or you're just starting reading or you hadn't read in years, you have a place where you can find something that speaks to you. So that's how it started. That's Book Mecca.
That is a beautiful journey.
It's
Thank
a
you
purchase
for
here.
sharing. Yes. And what I love about hearing someone's journey is that everybody's journey starts for different reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your journey started because there was a lack, there was a problem, and you could have just kept driving around looking for that book, ordering them online.
Yeah.
You saw a problem and you became the solution.
I am definitely trying to be the solution. And through this journey, it is definitely still a journey. I'm still on that pathway to getting to where I want to be. But on this journey, I also learned a lot more about myself and why I even fell in love with books, why I even still have books everywhere now. And for so long, I had no books in my house. I had nothing. I would check them out in the library and take them right back because my life was unstable. I didn't have a home to where I could have books with me. And now I'm at a place where I have a home that is stable. I have a foundation for myself and my girls, and I have books everywhere. I have so many TBRs. You might as well just call a bookshelf because it is full of books.
About how many books do you think you have?
You know, I am trying my best, especially during quarantine, to clean out my bookshelves. I can't even tell you how many I have. And I also call myself a little mini library too. So I have friends who I will talk their heads off about a certain book and pawn a book off to them, read the book, and then we trade books. So it's always a constant rotation of books. I don't even know how many. I wish I could turn my camera and show you wall shelves of books.
Wow, like hundreds?
No, 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 no. My place isn't that big. No.
Okay. Not yet.
Not yet, not yet.
So I don't know. This just flashed across my I guess my eyes or flashed across the screen. But when you were talking, I just saw this vision of you in your own bookstore. You were
Yes.
in your bookstore, and what started with your journey with your daughter, and what started with you looking for this book, and what started with you saying, you know what, I'm going to buy my own book, and now more books, and now I have a home where I can house my books, and now I share my books.
Yes.
I just saw this vision of you having this beautiful brick and mortar venue
It's
that was for us, by us, highlighting African American authors, bringing in African American authors, you creating a platform and a space for them to come, just like a record label or a record store brings in people. So
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to speak that into
Speak
existence.
it. Speak it again. 'Cause I would love to have for sure because there are bookstores that are out there and there's some great ones, but the atmosphere is not always the same. Have you ever walked into certain bookstores and you kind of feel like, let me get my coffee and go? Some of those are like that. You don't feel warm and fuzzy, and it doesn't speak to you. It doesn't speak to my culture. It doesn't speak to my family's culture. It speaks to coffee shop and get my book and leave.
That's,
So I would love to have that feel in the future. I'm gonna speak that for real.
we're gonna speak that into existence.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about the books. I want to know like what fascinates you the most about the different books that you come across and the books by the Black authors and telling the Black stories.
I love historical fiction. I know it's weird because my daughter loves history, but I love historical fiction because even if it is a fictional book, there is always a bit of truth behind it. And when you're talking to the authors of the books themselves, and you ask what is their inspiration, it is never just simply something they read in the newspaper. It always comes from a place of something. And it really stems to when I started reading. Reading has always been in my family. It's like my mom loved to read and things like that too. But it came down to when my mother read books and when I read books when I was younger. It was, I don't know how to explain it. It was almost as if it was a memory of
Mm,
someone. It was constantly reading someone's thoughts, reading someone's history, and it never being forgotten. My family has a history of Alzheimer's and dementia, so that is one of those things that is a fear of mine is losing my memory, losing who I am. And so when a story is written down, it is never forgotten. I don't care if you forget it yourself. It is never forgotten. Someone will read it, someone will pass it on. And as you know, in the Black community, we are from a generation, a history of stolen stories and stolen memories. And if no one writes them down and accurately writes them down, then they get lost and they get skewed. And I look at every Black History Month, every February, there's a whole placard of books for MLK and Malcolm X and you name it. But have you ever looked at the authors of who's writing the biographies?
mm,
A lot of times it's not us who are writing our own stories. And so it's important for me that no matter what the story is, whether it is about a intergalactic theme park or
mhm.
it's about something that personally happened to you as a child, it is your voice. Your voice needs to be heard.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like you're gonna make me want to go and read a book, you
I
know.
will read a book. I got lots to recommend to you.
So I'm gonna ask you. So I okay. I'm gonna be real with you. I got a lot of books, okay, but I don't be reading all the books. But I've
That's
got audio books. Like audio books have been the best thing ever. I can't stop listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks. So
still
tell
reading.
hmm,
That's still reading.
I'm not cheating. I feel like I'm cheating.
No, no.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It's
That's
still reading. You
all
are
right.
still motivating your mind and taking in those stories. So
That's
I accept that. I know there are some book snobs out there. They be like, I have to feel the book and smell it, which I do, but it's
yeah,
still
that's awesome. So tell us what would be give us your top three books right now, like just random. Like what would you let me ask you this, and I don't want to make this a pop quiz, but what would you recommend to Black women? One book, one or two that you think is like a must read or must check out.
if you are a current reader or I will say of all times reading, you must read anything by James Baldwin. Period.
Okay.
Giovanni's Room is one of my favorite ones. Um, I would definitely recommend you read I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. That is classic. It never gets old. I have read that book so many times. I can't even tell you how many times I've read it. And I would say a new book that I fell in love with that I would read again, and it's not even written by a woman, it's written by a man.
Mhm.
But the way that he wrote, it just kind of stuck to me. And it's by Kiese Layman called Heavy, New York Times bestselling author as well. I would definitely check that out. There are some really good books, so many. I wish I could just read them all. This is what I'm reading right now. Tiffany Jackson,
Let's see it. Okay.
Monday's Not Coming. And this is a
Mhm.
young adult novel. She writes young adult novels, but every single one of her books, I tell you, did technology get us?
It's okay.
The technology bug got us.
Good. It's okay. We're live. We just
I know
keep it
COVID.
going. We rebuke the
You
enemy
know how this
already.
works. There we go. There we go.
Yes. Well, that's awesome. So now we have some new books to check out. So while we're quarantining in the house or approaching the fall season and the winter season, we have some books to check out. So,
Yes.
and I want to pull up your website as far as where people can go if they want to uh, go to your website and learn more about you. So
Hmm.
bookmecca.org.
There you go. You can find me there. You can find out about our upcoming events, where we'll be, and you can buy your books directly there. Have them
Yeah,
shipped to you.
nice. So you heard that on her website. You can learn about events. Tell us a little bit, real quick. Tell us about an example of a Book Mecca event.
Oh, right now, of course, because of COVID, we've been live streaming author interviews. So once a month, I highlight an author. It's usually an author that is a nationally known author that has some sort of connection to me. Either I really, really love their book, or or I have hounded them down for a long time. We recently had Kendra Allen, who's a local Dallas native. She's an author here. We had Marita Golden, who is, I mean, she's written books and had dinner with Toni Morrison, for God's sake. She is just gorgeous. We had Kimberly Latrice Jones, and we have Tim Locke and Ryan Almacar Scott coming up next for October and November.
Okay.
So, I mean, some of these authors, I was just amazed that they even said yes to little old me. Just
Oh, they're saying yes to magnificent you.
I like that.
So these events now, because of what's going on in the world, they're virtual, right?
Yes, they are virtual.
Anybody can attend, no matter where they're
Mhm.
located.
Absolutely. Just go to our Facebook page, Book Mecca of Texas on Facebook.
Mhm.
And they also stream on after the fact on our Instagram at book.mecca. So you guys can check it out and watch the videos.
Yeah,
And you never know what we're talking about, but you learn a lot more than just about the story that they've written.
I love it. So you're having live conversations with Black authors
Yes.
talking about their Black novels, their Black stories, and
Yes.
you're going deeper. You're getting into the why, the how.
Mhm.
And I love a good interview. So I am excited. And I want to shout out Karen is highlighting a few of her favorite books. So Family Business,
Oh yeah. That's a good one. The Come Oh, Angie
Come
Thomas.
Up,
Angie Thomas. Yeah.
Exposure. What, that a book or I don't know. Well, hey, y'all bet it's a book somewhere. If not, we just gave you some exposure and you're giving the authors exposure. How about that one?
Hey.
Thank you for those suggestions, Karen. Anybody else out there, if you have any Black books by Black authors that you want to recommend, we're turning this into a virtual book club right now. So
Hey.
put the
Bring it.
names out there. Let us know what's a good book. And shout out to the folks that are on my personal Facebook page. I see Lonnie is watching. Hello, Lonnie. Lonnie is the
Hey,
woman
Lonnie.
that does. I see we have Michelle MacArthur. She actually asked a question. Any books on Coit family and Texas history?
Ooh, Attica Locke. She writes about Texas history in historical fiction. She's an East Texas native, and she is a beast. I'm telling you. And Timby Locke is too. I'll have her interviewed this month, and she wrote a book, a beautiful tragic love story. I could talk all day about that one, but tune in to her. But those two, those Locke sisters, amazing.
Awesome. Well, you definitely know your stuff. You're definitely passionate about this. So kudos to you for making your dream a reality and also just exposing people to the magnificent world of Black authors and Black books. So,
Thank
thank
you.
you for that. So we're going to transition on to the second hot topic of the day. So I want a drum roll, virtual drum roll. So the second hot topic of Speak That Talks is the power of words. So this felt like a good hot topic on so many different levels, right? Power of words written in
Mhm.
books, power of words spoken in conversation, power of words recited, whether it's speeches or people on TV, leaders in the country, you name it. The
Mhm.
power of words. So let's talk about this for a few moments. So you read books, so you're reading written words.
Yes.
You obviously watch TV, you're on social media, you
Mhm.
listen to interviews, you speak words. So what are your thoughts on the power of words?
Words have so much weight behind them. Honestly, it's everyone has a voice, of course. Um, Not everyone knows how to use their voice in a way that works for them. You have to find what works for you. Not everyone's a public speaker, not everyone is a writer, but everyone has a voice. So the words that we choose are based on our life experience, they're based on our feelings, our emotions. And if we never speak them and we keep them to ourselves, that's a disservice. That's a disservice for our friends, our families, those that love us. I always try to push the importance of speaking up and empowering my girls because they are young Black women. And I want them to know that their voice matters and that what they have to say needs to be heard. Whether or not this little voice in your head is saying something the opposite, which it oftentimes does, it often will tell us be quiet, stay in your lane. This isn't your time. You should wait, be patient. But those are words that we don't have to listen to. We can have our own voices and speak up when something is wrong. We can speak up when something is right. We can speak up when we're happy, when we are sad. We have no filters, and we shouldn't act as if we do. I think I am 38. I just had a birthday.
Okay, happy birthday.
Thank you. And when I,
1952.
yes, yes, September baby. Uh, well, my mom always told me, when you get to be 30 and up, you have the power to say what you want, no matter.
I thought it was like 60 and 70 and up.
My mama said it was 30. I feel like it's 30. I'm gonna take that.
I like that too, You know how the senior citizens, they like,
Yeah.
they'll just say whatever. I'm like, that's an honor to get to that point in your life where you just say whatever about whoever,
Yeah.
whenever. But
I'm
anyway,
not there
back to
yet.
your story.
I'm not at that age yet. I know
That's
what
for
you're
the senior
talking about.
citizens. They earned that.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I am of the age to, even if you are a senior citizen, my parent, my boss, a congressman, whoever, I can speak my thoughts to you and not feel as if I need to quiet them and not feel as if they are unimportant or they don't matter. Whether or not you listen is up to you, but I'm going to speak. I'm going to do what I need to. And sometimes writing comes out just as powerful as speaking. Find your lane.
I love that. I love that. I'm so happy that we're talking about the power of words because I'm a strong believer. Words are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular with Speak That Movement is about the power of words, the power of spoken words in particular, but not just spoken. But I believe that with our words, we have the power to speak things into existence. I
Yeah.
believe that we have the power to uh, affirm things, manifest things.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there's power in positive words and there's power in negative words, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
we can speak positive words and they can be manifested. People
Mm-hmm.
can speak negative words and they can be manifested. So if you have a choice, you better speak those words that will bring positivity, bring you a future that's bright, bring you growth, prosperity, love, uh,
Yeah. All of it.
unity, whatever it is. Choose
Speak it.
words wisely. Yeah. And likewise, I love to talk about the power of speaking life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking life, using those words to speak life over yourself, speak life over your circumstances, speak life over your situations. Use those words.
Yeah, absolutely. It, it brings me to thought too of oftentimes when you're in bad situations, you don't feel as if you can. You don't feel as if those words are there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how going back to writing is. If you have to write your own affirmations, if you don't even have the power or strength to say them yourself, write them out, speak them out, write them so they're in front of you on the mirror, whatever you have to do. Because sometimes you may not get those positive words from the ones closest to you. You have to speak them to yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk to the people out there who maybe they are struggling with life right now, right? We all are. Let's be real. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if you're a multi-billionaire or homeless or don't have a penny. People, if they want to be honest, they have dealt with something in life, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's empower and encourage the person who's dealing with something right now and how those words can be powerful. Like where can they dig them from? Like any words of advice you want to give to people out there, including myself, all of us.
Mhm. I always say that uh, everyone has gifts. Every single person does. But I love to talk to Black women in particular. I'm not knocking everybody else, but I love to talk to Black women in particular because we have non traditional assets that are just invaluable. And when you truly take a moment to center yourself, ground yourself, and listen to your body, listen to the circumstance that you're in, and focus on the positive aspects of you. If you can look in the mirror and you can find three things that you love about yourself, those three things are a start. And you keep moving until you move from the physical manifestations that you see to the inner attributes that you have, to the skills that you have, to the potential side hustles, to the potential careers. All of those things build upon each other because it starts with those small words. It is always those small steps that you take, whether it's talking to yourself saying, I can do this. This is my time. No one is stopping me, especially now in Corona. This is your time to reflect and truly ask yourself the questions, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do it? What is the purpose? Am I getting any pleasure or passion from this whatsoever? And is it helping myself and those whom I love around me? Because if it's not, what are you doing it for? Those words mean so much, so much.
That's good. That's good. I felt you when you said that. That's real. I love that, and I hope that everybody received that because I definitely received it. So you're right. Words are powerful. Our voice is powerful.
Yes.
So people, I can't say this enough. I spoke last week at Clyde Warren Park at an event, and I just had a challenge for the women. Like, for one, let's support each other.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's speak to each other. Let's say hello.
Encourage each other,
Yes,
please.
encourage each other. Though, because yeah, we can empower and encourage and inspire ourselves, but we're human.
Mm-hmm.
We have hearts, we have minds, spirits, and souls. Don't let days go by, months go by, years go by, your life go by where you're not pouring into somebody, other
Any-
people. So words are powerful. To those of us in the workplace, your words are powerful. We
oh,
have
yes.
a voice. Let's not be afraid to use our voice. Let's not be afraid to stand up for what we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not be afraid to protect ourselves and encourage ourselves. So I'm
Mm.
gonna leave that one right there. Anything else you want to say about the power of words before we go on to the next hot topic?
Don't listen to the liar in your head. Please don't. It will deceive you every time. It will make you feel as if your words are invalid, and they are not.
That's good.
Ignore them. They
Let
stay there.
them stay. Let them stay. All right. So we are now going to move on to the third hot topic of the day. And I know there may be some people that were waiting for this one or joined in specifically for this one. It's unfortunate, honestly, that it's even a hot topic. I'm just going to be very honest with you. So we're going to talk about justice for Breonna Taylor. So the most interesting thing, Shaylon, is when I first started to speak that talks on May 7th, I started them because there was so much going on in the world, as I mentioned earlier, from COVID, dealing with that, social injustices. I mean, I can't tell you how many side conversations I had, and I know others did too, regarding what was going on in the world. And I'm like, we need to just, if people want to come and join in on a live, let's just talk. And then that's what happened. And I bring that up to bring that background because Breonna Taylor was a hashtag during my very first Speak That Talks 20 weeks ago. 20 weeks ago. And here we are today in September.
Yeah.
And we're not asking, we're demanding justice for Breonna Taylor. I know that there are just so many emotions, so many different perspectives, so many different thoughts about the entire situation. And I don't want to use this right now to talk about her situation because I've already talked about the situation in previous episodes. I want to just talk about how we feel. Because one of the focuses of Speak That movement is not just, social injustices and living our best lives, but I want us to tap into that mental health space, especially as Black women.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we keep our emotions in. We want to be tough. We want to be this. We want to be that. Somebody asks, how you doing? We want to say, I'm fine. But it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
So I want to pass it on to you, and I want you to tell us, how are you feeling about the Breonna Taylor situation? And I want to ask all of you out there watching on Facebook or YouTube, add in the comments. This is our time to interact. How are you feeling? Unapologetically, deeply inside, how do you feel?
I am exhausted. I am mentally drained. I am tired. I know a lot of us have said probably the same things, but I was up last night and I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about my kids and thinking about all the women in my lives and all the brothers and cousins and uncles and aunts, and just wondering what would happen if it was me, if it was someone I loved. What is that family thing? All these thoughts racing through my mind. And I made myself go to sleep. But before I did, I wanted to make sure that those who have brought positivity into my life, I let them know as well. I tried, what, it was a small little email, but it was all I could think of in the moment was to just say, I see you, I hear you, I love you, you are important, you have value, you have purpose. And for all the emotions that I am feeling right now, I have to think about what is next. What can I do in the present moment? Even though I can plan for 10, 20 years down the line, I have to make present moment changes and opportunities happen right now. Whether it is with my immediate family and my kids, making sure that they understand their role in society, understand their voice, their vision, their passion, who they are as young Black women, how the world may see them, how they don't have to accept that. But I also have to think too of my legacy. When I leave, I won't always be here. What am I leaving behind? Am I simply focusing on just myself, or am I thinking of others? All of those things are just flowing through my mind in like a million miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure so many people can relate. And I just, I think I'm with you. And I mean, I've been tough, I've, I've talked to families, I was on the phone the other day with a victim a victim's father. And when I went to March on Washington, I was amongst, and I met so many families. And I think that right now I'm mad. Like, I
Yes.
feel like I'm mad because we were let down again.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be real here. Did I expect a lot? Unfortunately, I didn't expect a whole lot because we have systematic issues that are so deeply rooted.
Yes.
We have societal issues that are so deeply rooted. We have policy issues, policing issues. We have so many issues so deeply rooted. So I can't say exactly what I expected. I expected something,
Yeah.
right? Um, I expected some form of justice.
Mm-hmm.
I expected more than a paycheck, and I'm not knocking that. So please, people, don't
Yeah.
confuse my words. But you will not write off my Black women and my Black brothers with a check. Checks do not bring back lives.
Yes.
Okay, and that goes to not just people that have lost a loved one, but that goes to people in corporate America, people in America general, who think that they can make people smile by issuing a check. It's deeper than that. It's
Mm-hmm.
deeper than that. And maybe one day more people are going to understand that. As Dr. King said back in the day, he mentioned checks, right? Let's make sure these checks that are being written can be cashed.
Yeah.
I felt like another Black person was let down.
Yeah.
She was let down. She was a business professional woman. She loved God. She loved her family. She did things right. She was living her life, and she became a victim of something that folks won't even admit to. They won't even own up. They won't even be held accountable for it. That makes me mad. And it makes me mad because Brianna could be me, Brianna could be you, Brianna could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people out there that are confused and you're wondering why are they so mad? Don't think that it's just one name that makes us mad. I'm going to throw that out there.
Not at all.
It's a lot of names. It's years of names. It's decades of names. It's centuries of names. So that's why we're mad. And we're mad because enough is enough.
And I don't want to learn another name.
I don't
I
want
don't
to.
want another hashtag.
Nope.
I don't want one more watered down version of history saying that our ancestors gave their lives for us to do these things. Their lives were taken. They did not give their lives were taken.
Yes.
And so for these ones that are out in the streets, and whether you feel the need to protest, whether you feel the need to write a story, whether you feel the need to speak on a platform, whatever the case is, talk about power of words.
Yes.
The words for the Constitution were just that. They were just words until they were action behind it. Everything that we do start as words in our mind, and then they move to action.
Yeah.
I don't want one more name. I don't want a name. No one wants a name they know for sure. So I definitely don't want one more name to come across my screen that I have to learn, or that
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm going to pull in some comments. And thank you all for adding your comments. Tara, all of this is playing out in front of the young people, and it's hard for them to see her life taken and the courts fail her. Yeah. Janice, don't understand it, just saddened right now. Tara, definitely not an insult to her life. And Karen, how much is a life worth, right? You can't put a price tag on a life.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put a price tag on somebody's future. And then Karen also said, awesome, destiny denied. And I'm going to just read some of the comments. So if you see my eyes shifting, there's folks on the other platform. Someone said, Bobby Tucker said, we have to do something different. We protest and loot, but we don't come together to make change. So yeah, I guess I just want to just kind of say these words, and we're going to move on. But as we both mentioned, there's power in words. Your voice matters. Say their names, learn their stories, and if nothing else, let's think about our own loved ones, right? How can we embrace our own loved ones, and how can we stand in the gap for those sisters and those brothers that aren't here? How can we continue to go after our dreams, right? How can we continue to make our goals a reality? How can we continue to make a difference in the world? So we can be mad, we can be angry as fuck, we can be tearing up the streets, burning them down, anything. But what else can we do, right? What legacy can we leave behind? What can we do? We have 99 more days left in 2020. And we all know that the past hundreds have been all over the place. But what are you going to do with the next 99 days in 2020? I'm going to say voting. That we all know we need to vote. I've said that enough, and I'm going to be talking about that over the next few weeks. But deeply, internally, people, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How can you make a difference in the world? How can you make a difference? How can you stand up for your own life, right? How can you stand up for the lives of those around you, the lives that you don't know? Whatever you choose to do. I don't have a prescription. I just want people to think about that. And I also want to encourage people to know that it's okay to not be okay, right? So
can I drop one?
Please, it's your turn. I'm handing it over to you.
Therapy. I'm gonna throw that out there. Do not try and do this by yourself. Do not try and eat your feelings. Do not try and hold them all in and work yourself to death to avoid feeling, period.
That's right.
Talk to somebody.
That's
And I
right.
know we don't do it that often, but please do talk to
That's
someone,
right.
especially now.
Yeah. I totally agree. I couldn't have said it better. Mental health is real. Anytime you overconsume too much, it will get to you. Trust me, I know. Please trust me. If
Hmm.
you need to cut the TV off, cut the radio off, cut social media off, do what you have to do. Trust me, do what you have to do. Um, we'll get justice. You know, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but just know, and I always got to shout out my fellow social activists, the fellow social justice advocates out there, the folks protesting, the folks that are using their voice, big ways, small ways. It doesn't matter how you're using your voice, but I'm going to shout you out. I'm going to
Yes.
give you a fist in the air because know that every little thing is making a difference.
Hmm.
So again, if you all have any other thoughts, continue to add them. Like if you just want somebody to talk to, call me. I'm gonna throw that out there. If you just want to talk, you want to get something
I'm
out,
gonna tell you.
just reach out. I'm there. I could talk a long time. But anywho, um, self-care. I think that's a good way to wrap up that
Ooh,
that topic of justice for Brianna. So, Brianna, we're sorry that the system failed you, but guess what? It's not over yet. It's not over yet. So let's transition over to the last and final element of Speak That Talk. So I know we talked a lot in the beginning, but you know what? It's all good. We needed to talk, and we've had people listening. So thank you all out there that have tuned in for the entire episode. And those of you that have just now tuned in now, you have just stepped into one of my favorite parts of the Speak That Talks, and that is the Speak That Speed Round.
I don't know why, but I want to make like those sounds. Pew pew
I
pew.
know, like, come on, babe. What do you
We
want?
need one of those. Pew pew pew.
Yeah, let's get the energy back up. So the Speak That Speed round. So for those of you that know, and for those of you that do not know, there are four pillars of the Speak That movement. Those four pillars are dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. So I like to ask every guest to share their version, their takeaway on each pillar. So this is the opportunity for us to empower you, inspire you, motivate you, encourage you, uplift you, whatever it is that you need right now. You might hear something if you keep listening for the next few minutes, okay? So we are going to start with the very first pillar of Speak That Movement. Tell us, what does dream it mean to you?
Ooh. Dream it is a endless curiosity. It is constant imagination. It is never growing old. It is Peter Pan thoughts. Throw them all out on a wall and see what sticks. Dream it is taking everything, your wildest desires and aspirations, and trying them. What? It doesn't matter if it fails or not. Try it. Dreams are there for a reason. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them.
Good. Dream it. Speak
Dream.
that pillar. Number two, believe it.
Believe it. Oh, it is in you. It is a part of you. You were born with it. Believe it. It is your voice. It is your destiny. Um, it is meant for you. If you don't believe in what you are doing, believe in who you are, believe in what your destination in life is, you'll never get there. You have to believe in something in order for it to be manifested, in order for it to come true. Faith without action is dead. So believing
It's
is
good.
the key motor oil, engine, gas that keeps it going. You have to believe in yourself first before you can even believe in your dreams.
It's good. Dream it, believe it, speak it.
Speak it. Oh, speak it to the mountaintops. Speak your thoughts, your ideas, your passions, the good, the bad, the ugly ones. And don't just speak it to yourself. Speak it to the young ones. Speak it to the older ones. Speak it to whoever that will allow you to speak, even if they're not listening, because children listen even when you don't think they are. And so do adults. Speak your thoughts, speak your aspirations, have the voice that you deserve, that is yours. Put it out there. I know that one was a little off.
Wow, that was amazing. That was,
You can tell I like to speak. I don't
I
always.
love that. That's good. And we have a lot of likes, a lot of comments coming in. Michelle is saying, love it, believe in your destination. Faith without action is dead. Powerful. So she also says that she's ready for peace, stillness, love, healing, and justice.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're going to speak all of that into existence, Michelle. And thank you for being an ally. The fourth and final Speak That Movement pillar. And you know what? Because this is the fourth and final one, I'm going to give you the Speak That Talks platform on this one. So tell everybody listening in on Facebook and YouTube, what does it mean to you? And how can you empower others to walk it?
Ooh. It means to me to walk it is that you have found your lane. You know where you are going. You have marked your path. There is no wrong direction any way that you go. You've already thought it through. You've already spoke it in your mind. Walk ahead and take others with you. Don't go on a journey on aspirations and being prosperous and having all these mighty, lofty goals by yourself. Take those you love with you. Walk in the path of greatness because it is yours to take. It has always been yours to take. No one is on this planet simply to exist. You have a purpose, you have value, you have a reason to do what you are doing. So whether it is Book Mecca, whether it is public speaking, whether it is caring for your family, find your lane and walk in it. That's my walk in.
And that was a good walk in. Everybody, give me a virtual round of applause for
This is
today's
fun.
special guest speaker, Shaylon Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
Area, the beautiful, glowing owner of Book Mecca. So as we close out, you just left us with some powerful words, but is there anything else that you want to share? I know people can go to your website. Anything else that you want to say as you close out?
Definitely check out the website. You can purchase books directly there. Follow me on Instagram at book.mecca. You can also go to our Facebook page, Book Mecca of Texas, and write a book, write your stories. If you don't do anything else in life, write a story for yourself. Write your history down because I'm going to tell you now, someone is going to mess it up if it's just left by someone telling their granny and their granny and their granny. Write it down, please. Your children and your children's children deserve it.
That's good. You have been amazing. I am so happy that our paths crossed in multiple ways. One more shout out to Lonnie. Thank you for connecting us. Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you. Like you didn't know me, Lonnie, but that is an act of obedience. Just something told you to connect us. You did, and here we are today. And we're going to stay together. You and I are going to connect.
Yes.
And I think that we're going to do some amazing things together. All right.
I see it coming.
All right. So as our last shout out for justice for Breonna Taylor, I got to see that. Give me that fist. Give me that fist. That's right. All right, everybody. Please give another virtual round of applause to Miss Shaylon Scott. Thank you so much. Thank you. You got some thank yous. You got a lot of love out there. So again,
Yes.
thank you so much. All right, guys. I never know what to expect on the Speak That Talks. As I say, these are unscripted. No questions are planned in advance. We just go with what we feel. So to every speaker that has ever joined the Speak That Talks platform to share your story, to have a conversation, to empower, uplift, inspire, or motivate people, I thank you so much. I ask that you all check in next week. I'm gonna step into October with some more Speak That Talks. I'm gonna keep rolling as long as you all keep listening. So next Speak That Talks, Thursday, October 1st, 8 p.m., same place, same time. Facebook, YouTube, check it out. Just gonna be another empowering conversation. Also, if you want to learn more about Speak That Movement, Tiara PR Network, Speak That Talks, or if you want to be a speaker, spots are filling, but guess what? There's always room for you. So if you are interested in joining me and talking to others virtually, just let me know. Go to the website, tiaraprnetwork.com. Go to the contact form, shoot me a note. I would love to hear your story and I would love to just talk to you. There's always a hot topic every week, so we will never have a shortage of stories. Shout out to the Speak That Movers, people that are part of my private group who have declared that they will live their best life. They are dreaming it, believing it, speaking it, and walking it. So shout out to all the Speak That Movers out there. As always, thank you all for supporting Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, and Speak That Talks. I want to close out with a video. I'm going to play this video again. It's in honor of Breonna Taylor. Those of you who watched the episode last week, where some of us reflected on our experience at the Say Their Names Memorial in Dallas, Texas, check that out if you haven't already. Check out the replay of the March on Washington experience where I had some guest speakers on there. But I'm going to tie a bow around all that, and I'm going to play this video just for you to reflect. Again, your thoughts matter, your feelings matter, your voice matters. So as I close out, just take this moment, reflect, think about not only what has happened in America, not what has happened just yesterday in the past few weeks and months and years and decades and centuries, but think about you. You know, what voice do you want to have? And again, that can be just within yourself. It doesn't have to be major, but take the time and ask yourself, what are you feeling? Why are you feeling like that? And what are you going to do about it? So I ask that you all just reflect.
Just gotta get some things off my chest. Tough times, I hope y'all holding up. We'll be alright, cause we always is. But I'm feeling like this. How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches? How many more signs? How many more lives? How many more times? Take a look around. Can you see it now? Don't be colorblind, cause when they're killing mine, they'll try to justify it. Oh, each and every time. Playing in the park, taking you a jog, sitting on the couch, in your own house. Never seem to matter what we do. You think we don't matter, but we do. You got a problem cause the city on fire, but you quiet when niggas die. Let the soul about that body that we buried. You with God now, you no longer have to worry. It's so hard to sing these words out loud. All these beautiful, precious black lives lost in the name of senseless white pride. Tears falling from us. How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? many more marches? How many more signs? How many more lives? How many more times? Tell me, how can you be quiet? You know the language of the unheard is a riot. All we ever see from you is violence. You know you ain't no better if you silent. You talking about the city on fire. Where your rage when my people die. We ain't slaves, let my people fly. Now it's time, watch my people rise. How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches? How many more signs? How many more lives? How many more times? How many mothers have to cry? Tell me. How many brothers gotta die? Tell me. How many more times? Oh Lord. How many more times? How many more marches all across the world? How many more signs? Oh, how many more lives? Shame I gotta ask. How many more times? I'll leave you with that.
May God bless you, and may God protect you, and may justice prevail, because Black lives matter. Thank you all again. Be blessed.